Good morning, friends. I'm Chris. I'm from Transformation Nation Yoga and Wellness, and welcome to our Sunrise Yen class. What you'll need for props today, I recommend a yoga mat. If you have a blanket or two blankets you can use, I really recommend a blanket. And one way to set this up right from the start, so you have a little bit more padding between your body and the earth, is if you take a blanket, fold it in half, and then lay it out across your mat so that the long edge of that folded blanket is perpendicular to the long edge of your mat. I think that's a great combination. Two yoga blocks and a yoga bolster. And we'll get started here in just a moment. All right, so I'll have you start in a seated position. Maybe elevating the hips, maybe not. But stack the joints, float your head over your shoulders, over your hips. No, let's start with a cleansing breath, but at the same time, we'll create space and length along the spinal column. So as you draw in a deep, life-affirming inhale, press down into your seat, grow out of your heart in the crown of your head for the stars. And then maintain that length in your spinal column, but on your exhale breath, let that all go. Let all the soft tissues release down toward the earth. And I'm going to begin today with a reading from chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita. So you could choose, if you like, to have your eyes open with a soft gaze. If that feels comfortable and safe, you could also choose to blink them closed. Chapter 7 is wisdom and realization, and we hear today entirely from Krishna. The blessed Lord said, "Listen, Arjuna, I will tell you how you can know me beyond doubt by practicing non-attachment and surrendering yourself to me. I will teach you the essence of this wisdom and its realization. When you come to master this, there's nothing further that needs to be known. Of 10,000 men, perhaps one man strives for perfection. Of 10,000 who strive, perhaps one man knows me in truth. Earth, fire, wind, water and wind, air, mind, and understanding, and the eye sense. These are the eight aspects of my physical nature. This is my lower nature, but beyond this, I have another higher nature, the life that sustains all beings in the world. Know that it is the womb from which all beings arise. The universe is born within me, and within me will be destroyed. There is nothing more fundamental than I, Arjuna. All worlds, all beings are strung upon me like pearls on a single thread. I am the taste and water, the light in the moon and sun, the sacred syllable Om in the Vedas, the sound in air. I'm the fragrance in the earth, the manliness in men, the brilliance in fire, the life in the living, and the abstinence in aesthetics. I'm the primal seed within all beings, Arjuna. The wisdom of those who know the splendor of the high and mighty. I am the strength of the strong man who is free of desire and attachment. I'm desire itself, when desire is consistent with duty. All states of being, whether marked by sattva or rajas or tamas, proceed from me. They are in me, not I in them. Because most men are deluded by the states of being, they cannot recognize me, who am above these, supreme, eternal. But those men who turn to me can penetrate beyond this wondrous power of mine, this magic created by the three gunas. Others are deluded by my power. They do not attempt to find me, and in their ignorance, sink into demonic evil. And we'll pick up next week with more of chapter 7. Right, from your seated position, if your eyes are closed, maintain closed eyes. If they're open, they could still stay open with a soft gaze. But I'd like you to start to shift your attention to your heart. And visualize an area on the right side of your heart, about the size of your thumb. This is your spiritual heart. Start to direct your breath toward that spiritual heart. And if you're in your head at all, see if you can find an anchor to this present moment experience. Maybe the pressure of your seat pressing down up into the earth and all the places where the earth is pressing into your body, where you're touching your mat or your bolster. Maybe the warmth and the light pressure of your hands wherever they're resting on your body. Or maybe it's something to do with the breath. And then feel for an embodied sense of your heart, your spiritual heart. Feel for relative size, relative openness or closeness. And then in your spiritual heart, I'd like you to begin to visualize a tiny emerald green spark. And as you feed this spark with your attention and your breath, it starts to slowly grow bigger and glow lighter. Each time a thought or an emotion starts to lift up into your consciousness, you can notice it with kindness and curiosity, identify it for what it is. And there's no need to push it away. I'm just asking that you don't attach to it. And then shift your attention back to that growing, green, glowing spark in your spiritual heart. Which is bigger now. It's the size of a pencil eraser and quite bright. For the small size, it's really quite bright. And start to illuminate your chest cavity. But just about the bottom of the throat and just below the diaphragm with a brilliant emerald green light. Feel for the embodied sense of your spiritual heart right now, its relative size, its relative openness. And continue to feed that green spark with your attention and your breath. And as you feed that green spark, as you continue to feed it, it's starting to grow more quickly and glow more brightly. Now it's the size of your thumbnail. And that brilliant emerald green light is now illuminating your entire chest cavity. In fact, all the way up to the top of your throat and almost down to your pubic bone. Now that bright, glowing emerald green light is the size of a golf ball. It's illuminating up into the cavity of your head, up to about the nose level, and down into your legs, reaching almost down to the knees. Feel for what is the embodied sense of your spiritual heart right now. What is its relative size, its relative openness? And now what started as a little spark is now the size of a baseball. And it's shining this brilliant emerald green light all the way down to your ankles and all the way up to your forehead. And now that light is the size of a cantaloupe. And the entire interior of your body is illuminated with this brilliant emerald green light, all the way up to the crown of your head, the soles of your feet, expanding out to the tips of your toes. What is your embodied sense of the relative size, the relative openness of your spiritual heart? And now what started as a spark is now more of a globe. It's the size of a volleyball. And that green light is starting to spill out of the heels of your hands, the balls of your feet, your eye sockets, and the crown of your head, radiating that emerald green light throughout the room that you're in, starting to light up your room first, and then your home. And now that brilliant green light is starting to pour out of the cracks around the doorways and out of your windows. This light and this energy of your spiritual heart is now illuminating the whole world. Right. If your eyes are closed down, you can start to gently blink them open. And the first true yin shape of our practice today is going to be caterpillar pose. So come onto your seat, lengthen your legs long, reach the soles of your feet forward toward the top edge of your mat. And I'm going to put a little padding under my seat. I'm going to use a folded blanket just to keep my pelvis rocking forward. Lengthen the legs out long first. And then you can relax the feet, relax the toes, maybe the ankles roll to the inside or the outside. And you could start to fold forward, drawing your heart and your forehead down toward the earth. You could also do this with a little support, which is what I'm going to choose. So here's a couple of options. You can place a bolster so that the foot of the bolster is on the earth, the head of the bolster is on your heart. Turn your palms up to face the sky, let your forehead drape down. So this is one option. With or without the support of your bolster, you could place your elbows on your inner thighs, your thumbs in your inner upper eye socket, urinary bladder 2 acupressure point, with the option now or later to transition to Macaulay Culkin support, where you've got the heels of your hands meeting under your chin, and your head just, the bottom of your jawline just resting on those hands. Right, find a level of sensation where you can feel this. So start at least a level of at least a 4 and not more than a 6 on a scale from 0 to 10. So look for a dull achiness or a diffuse pressure or a bitterness, flirting with that threshold between discomfort and pain. Bring to your mind the image of someone for whom you have a lot of love. Right, so it's an uncomplicated relationship. You only feel one way. So it could be a child or a grandparent, it could be a beloved pet, but hold that image in your mind. But before we do anything else, check in with your body. Notice your current level of sensation. And if you started at a 4 to 6, and now you've opened up some space and you're at a 2 or you're 3, you can start to fold your heart and your head closer down toward the earth, or even just tuck your chin in towards your chest. But if you're still in that range of 4 to 6, don't change a thing. You're exactly where you need to be. Now, with that image of that person, of the most pure love you can imagine, you only feel one way about this being. To start, I'm going to cue for both an inhale and an attention, and cue for an exhale. And the exhale will also have the intention blended in. And then eventually throughout the practice, we're going to shift that. And I'll just cue you for the intention. You'll know when to breathe. So hold that image gently in your mind. Inhale, may you be. Exhale, happy. Inhale, may you be. Exhale, healthy. Inhale, may you be. Exhale, safe. Inhale, may you know. Exhale, peace. Bring to your mind the image of someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill come very easily. Might be that same person as before. Might be someone completely different. But hold that image in your mind. Inhale, may you be. Exhale, happy. Inhale, may you be. Exhale, healthy. Inhale, may you be. Exhale, safe. Inhale, may you know. Exhale, peace. Begin to lift yourself up out of this shape. However you want to get there, make your way up onto your feet in a standing position. And I'm going to show you a ton of options. We're going to come into a yin squat, right? So it could be a very conventional squat. So feet out, hip distance apart, toes turned out 10 to 12 degrees. Option one is with your seat up against a wall, right? That can be nice for a lot of bodies. You could also do this with a chair or a stool under your seat. Option two, you could place a block under your seat, sit down onto the block. A third option, and this is going to be home for me today, elevate the heels on a folded blanket or a bolster. Lower your hips down toward the earth. And of course, you could also have your feet flat on the mat. But rather than more of a yang vinyasa version where we're pressing the elbows into the inner thighs into the elbows, I'd like you to release the tips of your fingers down toward the earth. Maybe relax your forehead down toward the earth as well. Right, eye in the prize. Remember the level of sensation here. We're not looking for a level of 7 to 10. We're looking for 4 to 6. So if you've exceeded that, feel free to lift yourself up out of this and place more props under your body to support it. we're going to begin our transition. So maybe starting by pressing into your feet, come up into a forward fold. And then however you want to get there, use good body mechanics, make your way into a tabletop position. So like a quadruped position, like a child crawling. And I'd like you to have 2 blocks available. So we're going to do a 2 yin pose combination on the same side. Our next pose, what we're going to start with this combination with is dragon. Step your right foot forward to the outside of your right hand. And maybe from here, even scoop the heel of your hand under that right foot and scoop that foot forward. Maybe tuck your toes under your left leg, walk that left leg back behind you. Now you're fine right here, but I'd really like to at least start this pose promoting openness in the front lines of the body. Or you'll definitely also feel this in the hip flexors on the left leg, the psoas, probably even the rectus femoris to a degree. Right, so in a vinyasa version of this, I would cue you to engage that left glute, but here I would actually prefer that you relax. But a similar cue, some common ground between, say, an Anjaneyasana and dragon pose. If you can, let gravity continue to draw the hips forward and toward that right heel. One more time, bring to your mind the image of someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill come very easily. Might be one of the same beings as before. Might be somebody completely different. But gently hold that image in your mind and in your heart. From this point forward, I'm just going to cue for the intention. You'll know when to breathe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. All right, friends, check in with your body. Notice your current level of sensation. Again, if you're in that range of 4 to 6, you don't have to change a thing. You're probably already home. Couple of options if you've opened up some space. One is you can start to bring your hands or your forearms down to blocks or to the earth. Maybe tuck your chin towards your chest. This will open up the energetic lines, urinary bladder meridian on the back line of the body. Or what I'm going to choose today is continue to let my hands drape forward toward the earth, but bring my blocks up a little bit higher, give myself a little bit lift, maybe open up those lines along the front plane of my body more. And then at the very top, I'm not going to drop the crown of my head back behind me. It doesn't feel good for my neck. But I'm going to lift my chin slightly to promote even more openness along the front lines of my body. Check in with your body. Notice if you've got muscular engagement, some gripping someplace where you don't need it. All right, I just noticed a whole bunch in my shoulders. If you find it, can you let that go? Or maybe emotionally, maybe you find gripping in your heart. Can you let that go? All right, if you chose to fold forward, to lift yourself up a little bit, and we're just gonna gently walk the pinky edge blade of your right foot closer to the left hand edge of your mat. Drop the right knee down wide, far right hand edge of your mat. So notice, I don't care how close to parallel to the top edge of your mat that right shin is, but I'd like the right knee at least to start wide. Invitation to place a bolster, to stage a bolster in front of your body. Tuck your toes under your left foot, lengthen that left leg long. You could stay lifted, right? Maybe right hand on your knee, left hand on your foot. And just allow gravity to draw that right hip down toward the earth. You could pad up under that right hip with a block or a folded blanket. And you could choose to fold forward, maybe lowering your heart and your head down to your bolster. These are all good options. Bring to your mind the image of someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill are truly neutral. You really don't have an opinion one way or the other. Maybe this is somebody that you see frequently, but don't really know, a new neighbor, a colleague whose cubicle you have to walk by, but you haven't yet met. Maybe someone that you see in a yoga class. You see the same person over and over, but you haven't yet met them. Hold that image gently in your mind, in your heart. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. All right, friends, check in with your body. And if you're in that range of 4 to 6, I'm like right at the top of the 6, so I'm not going to change a thing. But let's say you fold it forward, you could lower your heart and your head closer down toward the earth. But remember what we're looking for in the sensation. We're not trying to make this a 10. In a yin practice, when I try to make the level of sensation a 10, all it makes me do is not want to practice yin anymore. So we want this to be sustainable. Friends, we're going to begin a transition. So if you fold it forward, start to lift yourself back up. Bring your hands under your shoulders. We have good body mechanics this whole way through. Slide that right knee back. Oof. Come into a tabletop shape again. And maybe find a counter pose. Maybe circle that right hip. Maybe lengthen that right leg long behind you. Maybe step the right foot behind your left foot and shift your gaze out over your left shoulder. Whatever's going to bring you some comfort. And once you've had a bit of time in a counter pose, we'll set up for the other side. So from tabletop, slide your left foot forward. So maybe the heel of your left hand on the inside of the heel, scoop, scoop, scoop that foot forward. Maybe tuck your toes under your right foot, walk the right leg back any amount. And then if you would, start with your hands on blocks. Check for gripping, muscular engagement, and in particular, in the hip complex. So anything that's preventing your hips from sliding forward toward that left heel, any amount. Bring to your mind the image of someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill are neutral. Maybe the same person as last time, maybe someone else. Hold that image in your heart. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. Right? Ask your body what she needs right now. What does she need in this moment? And if it's more sensation, you can either fold forward as we did on the other, if you did that on the other side, or maybe lift your torso, lift the crown of your head higher up, maybe lifting the blocks up to a higher setting. Bring to your mind the image of someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill are neutral. Gently hold that image in your mind. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. Over and over, attend to noticing what's happening in your body. What's your body's physical response to this practice? What's your body's emotional response to this practice? And even if you just noticed it and you didn't do anything about it, because sometimes there's nothing to do. It's a win. Noticing it is a win. But if the gripping, if that what you're noticing that's happening, the response is gripping, either in the body or in your heart, maybe on an exhale, maybe choosing to release some or all of that gripping, any amount more. All right, friends, if you're folded forward, start to lift yourself back up, stack the joints first, and then walk the pinky edge blade of your left foot over to the right. Drop that left shin down, left knee out nice and wide, but maybe that left heel comes generously back and toward the groin. That's what I'm choosing for myself here. Option for a block or a folded blanket under your left hip, a bolster under your heart. Maybe lift your gaze slightly first. Walk that right knee further back behind you. And then you could stay lifted or you could choose to fold forward, any amount. Bring to your mind the image of someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill are challenged. So this is a difficult relationship for you. It might be a colleague with whom, for whatever reason, you developed a bit of an adversarial relationship. For most of us, this is a family member. That's totally up to you. Bring that image into your mind and hold it there gently. Hold it in your heart gently. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. All right, friends, check in with your body. Do an honest assessment of what your body needs right now. So my deep six lateral hip rotators in my left hip are screaming at me, right? It may even be beyond a six a little bit. So I could choose to lift my forearms up a little bit higher. But if you've opened up some space and your body wants more, anything you do to release your heart, your head closer down toward the earth, or maybe shift the hips back to center, may increase your sensation. So try that. Bring to your mind the image of someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill do not come easily. Hold that image in your heart. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. Start to walk your hands back up under your shoulders. Lift yourself up enough that you can unthread that left leg. Take any counter pose. Maybe start with whatever brought you comfort on the other side and see if it's a relief for you here as well. And then come back to tabletop. Floating your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Place a block maybe just past the tips of your fingers, maybe 2 or 3 inches past the tips of your fingers. And then start walking your hands forward. I would also have your other block in a bolster close by. Actually, I'm lying. Draw the block back in line. So place it under your heart. If you can, leave your hips floating over your knees. Lower your heart down to your block. Right, so one area I'd like you to really attend to is the tops of your shoulders. And if you're feeling what feels like a pinching sensation here, even if it's just at a 6, lift your heart up more. That might look like placing a bolster under your heart and your head. Let your heart fall down to the earth, or maybe feel the support of that block under your heart. Bring to your mind the image of someone for whom your feelings of kindness and goodwill do not come easily. Hold that image in your mind. Hold it gently, gently, gently in your heart. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. Check in with your body. Notice your current level of sensation. If you've opened up some space, a couple of options. One is you could remove the block from under your heart and lower your heart closer down to the earth. If you've got a lot more space, you can also place blocks under your hands, which will give you another 3 inches of reach for your heart to reach down toward the earth. But really attend for those feelings of compression and pinching in the tops of the shoulders, which definitely lights up for me when I lift my hands up on blocks. And settle back in. Release any muscular engagement that you don't need to keep your hips floating over your knees. And then bring to your mind an image of yourself. Hold that image with lots of care in your heart. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. Start to rock your weight forward, weighting the forearms first. If there's a block under your heart, remove the block. Come down onto your belly. Find any resting shape on your belly. So today I'm going to choose half frog. So I'm going to goalpost my arms out to the side with my elbows in alignment with my shoulders, fingers pointing up past the top edge of my mat. I'll rest my left cheek on the mat and lift my right knee up in the general direction of my right elbow. The knee doesn't have to touch the elbow. It doesn't even have to be close. And then look for, Krishna talked about the gunas. So let's roll this into the class today too. Look for a tamasic level of energy. So completely disenergized, completely disengaged. Physically. So we're still mentally and emotionally engaged in the practice. Release all of our tissues down to the earth. Excellent. If you chose half frog for your resting position, I'd like you to slide that lifted knee back down in line with your other knee. Bring your chin to neutral. Start walking your elbows up under your shoulders. Take a block at the highest height, place it right in between your wrists. Lengthen out the legs long first and then relax them. So from the tips of your toes to your lower back, everything relaxes. Ankles roll to the inside of the outside just fine. No problems there. All right, some muscular engagement will be required for you to keep your shoulders floating over your elbows, but release everything else. Maybe flip your palms up toward the stars from now, and maybe even start to fold in between the shoulders, maybe releasing your forehead down to a block. Relax your belly. Relax your belly. Feel for softness. And feel for space and length opening up between your pubic bone and your sternum. Bring to your mind an image of yourself. Hold that image in your heart. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. If your body wants more sensation, one option you could transfer to seal pose. That's the case for you today. If you've got that space and your body wants that, turn your palms down toward the earth. Turn the fingers out wide. Start pressing into the heels of your hands. Lift your elbows up off the earth. And then maybe slide the heels of your hands any amount closer towards your waist to add more sensation. Check for gripping. Did anything change? Did you grip up in the glutes? Maybe the muscles around your eyes, your forehead rather. Continue to let your forehead drape down toward the earth. Continue to find softness from your low back all the way down to the tips of your toes. Bring to your mind an image of yourself. Hold that image in your mind. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. All right, friends, if you chose to lift up in this seal pose, come back down to Sphinx first. Bring your block out of the way, lower your heart down to your belly, and then press yourself up onto your knees. And we're going to close out our yin practice today with reclined butterfly. So you can come into that right away if you like. Coming onto your back, resting the pinky edge, blades of your feet on the earth, bringing your soles of your feet together, letting gravity draw your knees down toward the earth. Or, theme for the class today was not very subtle, right? It was love, and in particular, self-love. So in the interest of showing myself some care and love today, I'm going to set up what my yin teacher, Annie, calls a lazy boy recliner. So I have one block at the lowest height, and then what is that, 12 to 14 inches behind that, a second block at the highest height. I'll lay a bolster over the whole kit and caboodle. And then from there, come onto your seat, bring the soles of your feet together, and then lower yourself down onto this support. Maybe take the arms out to the side so that the action of gravity is drawing the shoulder blades down toward the earth and spreading your chest plate open, opening the heart. And if this feels comfortable and safe for you, I'd like you to spend this shape repeating these words to yourself, either out loud or silently. So I'm going to go through this affirmation 3 or 4 times. And then I'd invite you to maintain that on your own afterwards. I am happy, whole, complete, and worthy of love. I am happy, whole, complete, and worthy of love. I am happy, whole, complete, and worthy of love. I am happy, whole, complete, and worthy of love. Friends, I'll invite you to start making your way into any final resting shape. On your seat, your belly, your back, your side, balancing the two qualities of relaxation and alertness. And as I understand it right now in this moment, that Shavasana, that final resting shape, with a balance of relaxation and alertness is where we find sattva in that final resting shape. And maybe only if it's useful, come back to that imagery of the globe of brilliant emerald light emanating from the right side of your heart and radiating out into the world. Your life force expressed as love, spilling its way out and shining onto every sentient being. If your body's ready for more movement, maybe begin that process by creating more space and movement with your breath. Deeper inhale and a more full and complete exhale. And if that feels like a good start and your body wants to build on that with more, reanimate your body with some small movements, maybe wiggling your fingers or your toes. Maybe gently rotating your chin from shoulder to shoulder. And then maybe find some even bigger movements, rotating your hands at the wrists, your feet at the ankles. We're taking a full body stretch. And then roll over onto either side into a fetal position, mindful of the props that may have been supporting you in your final resting shape. Notice how you're feeling. Find an anchor to the present moment. Maybe the pressure of the earth pressing back up into the side plane of your body through your mouth. And then feel for the relative size and the relative openness of your spiritual heart. And then press yourself up into a seated position with your legs crossed, your eyes open or closed. I'm going to place both hands on my heart, left hand first, right hand covering the left. And if that sounds good, you can join me there. But if that doesn't feel safe or it's not what your body calls for, I will do something completely different. Thank you, sisters, for the honor of allowing me to guide you through your practice today. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. And may you know peace. And that concludes our practice for today. Blessings to you and your family. Thank you, friends. And again, I'm Chris. I'm from Transformation Nation Yoga and Wellness. And this was our Sunrise Yin self-love sequence.